This is what I call commitment. I'll shoot with you guys. It's Wednesday, and you're probably thinking, Owen, did you get this video done last night? No, technically I didn't. Something in my eye, and this will be it's the reason I have this little piece of paper like here. It's like a Kleenex. I'm going to have this because it's my eye's bothering me. That's the reason why I'm trying not to be further back so you're not staring at it the whole time, because it's kind of like the eye situation in Wayne's World 2 with the partial ocular albino. He's got the no pigment in the eye, and they keep making the references that I make every day now that cross the T's and dot the lowercase j's instead of dot the i's, obviously. So I'm trying to keep that from being an issue in the video. So we're going to talk NXT and Impact from this past week, and I've got my notes here. A lot of notes. Obviously, this episode of NXT is a big one because this is the official debut of Samoa Joe. And this episode of Impact is a big one because it's Destination X. So, two big things in one. Let's get started. So we start off the show with tag team action. The newest tag team in NXT is Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley. I see what you did, WWE. I did. I do, 100%. You took somebody I really like a lot, someone that I really appreciate in the ring, that I want to see wrestle more often, and you put him with my least favorite person on the NXT roster. Crafty, WWE. Very crafty. Now, here's the thing. They faced off against Mike Rawless and Elias Sampson, which, if you give them matching gear, honestly, I'm sure not in style, but I think you could make them into like this generation's version, of Sean O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo, the Natural Born Thrillers. Now I know what you're saying, Owen, when you come down to it, I'm missing Mike Sanders and stuff like that. Well, Sylvester LaForte's not doing anything, so why can't he manage them and they could do a tag team that way? You don't necessarily make them a jobber tag team, you actually do something with them. Kind of like what they did with Blake and Murphy before, when they were just, like, unknowns. I think they could do something with that. And if they're going to continuously make them team, I think it's probably a good idea. But I digress. The Chad Cross fan club is sitting in the stands. And by that, obviously a reference that no one is going to get. The Chad Cross fan club basically means that there is a line of people with Mojo Rawley shirts. And I think the shirt's hideous. Number one, other than the Tyler Breeze shirt, because with the Andy Warhol like pop art boxes, I think that works perfectly. But the Mojo shirt, it just seems like something that, if I had it, probably would get stained rather easily. White shirts and me don't get along. Never have. Probably never will. And on top of this, Sampson and Rawless lost to Blake and Murphy last month, like the end of May. So, if you're going to make them a regular tag team, honestly, and I'm not positive Sylvester LaForte's still working for the company. Honestly, I'm really not, and I can't really check right now. But if not, you can give him somebody else. Maybe he's injured, that's a possibility. NXT, it seems like if you get off television, you're either nothing to do for you, you're injured, or you got fired. Okay. Kind of like the story of Garrett Dillon. It's very interesting. Now, this match was interesting. Short, straight, and to the point. Mojo is all about dancing now. And he yelled, "It's hammer time," and hit a sit-out axe handle. Okay. He's in much better shape than what he did. He's not as flabby as he was. So, I mean, kudos to that. He's still, like, way too over the top, but his gimmick, I guess, fits that, because I guess they're kind of making him, like, not a comedy act, but they're kind of making him more, like, fan-friendly, even more so than before. I know what I said. I went on record saying it'd be better if he turned him heel, and I personally still believe that. But now, I think I understand where they're going with this, and as long as He can work the matches. Ryder gets the hot tag. I'm not necessarily going to have a problem with this team, which is weird coming from me, I know, 100%. So we get the normalcy from the match. You get the broski boot after the missile dropkick off the middle buckle and the diving form in the corner. And Ryder gets a face buster to get out of dodge after some nice work from Elias Sampson. He works him over as a European uppercut and a snap suplex for a near fall. Ryder counters with the face buster, and this leads to the tag into Mojo Rawley. He hits the big splash in the corner twice, and a tornado punch for Rawless, which knocks him off the ring apron. So Mojo, it's a big-time shoulder block, and tags in Zack Ryder. He lifts him up, and Ryder delivers the Rough Rider, and that's the assist for the 3 count. Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley win. Then they jump into the crowd and celebrate like they just won the, I guess, more appropriately, the Super Bowl. I honestly didn't have an issue with this, which is weird coming from me because I don't like Mojo, but maybe it's going to take a bit to grow on me. I think this team actually will work. I can actually see this team working with Blake and Murphy, as they did over the house shows. And not every house show. I mean, like, they did work with, like, they worked with the Vaudevillains a lot, too, actually. Which is weird because with the crowds in Columbus, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh, you actually had people cheering for Ryder, people cheering for the Vaudevillains, and when Mojo was in the ring, they gave him the business. So, we'll see how this works. We get a promo from Finn Balor saying he arrives. I really like this. Like, it's called, like, Embrace the Demon. It's Finn standing there in, like, a suit. Next thing you know, you see, like, flashes of the demon paint. And it's like, embrace your inner demon inside. And it says Finn arrives July 4th in Tokyo. Oh, my God. I can't wait for that show. It's going to be awesome. Even though we have to get up at, like, 6 in the morning to watch it because of live Japanese wrestling, we are dedicated to do that exactly thing for you. Exact thing, not exactly thing. It's early, give me a break. Do that exact thing for you because of our dedication to this channel and our dedication to NXT. Even though this is not really an NXT show, it's a WWE show, so there. I'll try to overroll this. Okay, better. Now, singles action up next. We have the always adorable cosplay queen, Leva Bates, and that would be Old Blue Pants taking on the sexy seductress Emma. Like I said, I like evil Emma. She's awesome. And this match was good. Apparently it was Miss Bates' birthday because the fans chanted happy birthday to her. That was kind of cool. This match went pretty short, but it did have a point in the long run. Started working her over and some roll-ups and an Oklahoma roll. Emma cut her off with a clothesline, and Emma misses an elbow drop, 3 roundhouse kicks, and hits like Sheamus-style clubbing blows to the chest. That ends with a final cut, 1-2 and a kick out, or the Eye of the Hurricane, depending on who's calling your match. Ducks the round kick and tripped up, Emma lock, and that's the end of that. I like, as a heel, Emma, like, puts more, like, ferocity on the Emma lock now. And, like, so when she locks the Moodle lock in, she basically is, like, pressing up, pressing up, pressing up. It's like, tap out, tap out, tap out. So, I like that. That worked really well. We had an interview next with Devin in the back with Big Cass, Enzo, and Colin Cassidy. Well, that's the same person. Enzo, Cass, and Carmella. They endeared to me immediately because Carmella, of course, comes out to the fancy rip-off music, which I'm not a fan of Carmella at all. And she also used By Felicia when she ended up ending the conversation. Enzo basically makes a Fresh Prince reference saying, I'm going to send you to go live with Uncle Phil. How you doing? And a lot of Hunger Games references. But when Big Cass was on the mic when it comes to this right now, I mean, there wasn't a physical microphone. Basically, he was on the mic. He was cutting a promo. He was a lot more serious and basically saying that, like, obviously we use the Sweet Boys term and everything, talking about Blake and Murphy. And it was made further apparent that we're actually going to get this because the match that I've been calling for months is going to happen. The 6-person tag match this week on NXT, which actually is later tonight on the WWE Network at 8 p.m. So yeah, Cass was very, very, like, solemn, very serious, and he was the one that had to play the straight man here, and I think it actually worked really well. He basically said that Blake and Murphy don't need to belong in the company, and they don't need to be there, so I'm really curious to see where we go from there. Singles action up next, Bull Dempsey, the Bull chant, yeah, you know what comes after Bull, and it's something sometimes you step in if you're in the country. Yeah, the crowd did that, and I've done it before too, actually, sorry. I've never liked this guy. They chanted Baby Rhino at him. He faced off against Tyler Breeze. This match was interesting. There's apparently a gimmick now where Bull's over, Bull's like taking advantage, and he did. He would like work Tyler Breeze over for a good several minutes. And he ends up finally knocking him down. He goes for the flying headbutt after the Vader attack, and he gets stopped. Tyler goes to the floor. He gives chase, and Bull runs out of steam, and the fans start chanting cardio at him. So he finally rolls back into the ring, and he basically eats the beauty shot, and that's the end of the match. Well, the thing about that is you see Tyler Breeze laughing at him. And it's not like a heel laughing. It seemed like Tyler Breeze was actually, like, somewhat breaking character. I thought that was kind of funny. And this gimmick's interesting. I'm not exactly sure it's going to work. Later on in the show, William Regal's going to make the announcement that he ended up making at the end of the night, fast-forwarding through the episode. And he is confronted by Bull Dempsey eating Doritos. And he's like, I think you have a problem. And he said, listen, Flower, you need to get your act together. So, a weight problem, an eating disorder, not disorder, but like the fact like binge and purge, I mean, literally just eating way too much. I mean, we'll see what that is. Like, WWE style writing, he'd probably go into like Overeaters Anonymous, something like that, if they wanted to go that direction. I think this is going to be somewhat fun, if they actually roll with it, and I think they're going to. Singles action up next. Jessie McKay making her official in-ring debut in a singles match against Becky Lynch. This match is really good, actually. I love the fact that Jessie McKay, her background in Shimmer, she's from Australia. She's got really, really long legs. So when she did the sidekick, it actually works really well. I like this a lot. She mocks her taunt. She gets rolled up in a small package. And Jessie starts working the arm, because obviously the arm still got worked over by Sasha Banks. And then we get the duck of the clothesline. Becky's on offense now. Leg lariat. Nice hammerlock snap suplex. And of course she's setting up for the Fujiwara armbar. And she hits the two, like, lightning leg drops off the ropes. And then the leap over leg drop. Pump handle is countered. And the boot is caught. Gory bomb. Yes, a gory bomb. Looked awesome. And right into the disgusted armbar, which is what they're going to call the Fujiwara now. And, of course, Jessie McKay has to tap out rather quickly. Match was done really well, and Becky Lynch is, every single time I see her in the ring. I didn't watch any of the Rebecca Knox stuff, but I can honestly tell you that I love the character of Becky Lynch, and I love her in the ring. So it's definitely something I'm really going to keep my eye on. We've not seen the last of Becky Lynch going after the NXT Women's Championship. I'm sure it'll happen again sooner rather than later. We're going to get that rematch with Sasha Banks probably before TakeOver, since we're not getting another TakeOver for another 2 months. So, we'll see. Well, we also now lead into my good friend Greg Hamilton, and he's got Jason Jordan in the back. And Jason Jordan, of course, is pretty much making excuses about Marcus Louis being a crappy tag team partner. And he's like, you know what, my partner didn't work out, but I got a new partner. And of course, he is interrupted by none other than Chad Gable. And Chad Gable says, you know what, I'm not the kind of guy to say I told you so, but you know what, I kind of told you so. When you're ready, I'll be ready, willing. And of course, he throws his rally towel out, and Gable. It's funny because this seems like it's a mix between Kurt Angle and Ricky Ortiz, or Ricky Track Pants, and back in the old WWE version of ECW. So it's funny because Jordan looks at the rally towel and he's like, where do you get all these? And I'm like, So he leaves, and Gable takes a magic marker and writes Gable next to Jason Jordan's name in the locker room on his personal locker. Fair enough. I think it's going to be fun. I think when you get the former Shoot Nation together, I mean, you may not call them the Shoot Nation, but I would think right now that, like, the double meaning, obviously, but NXT is more, like, internet-friendly wrestling. Obviously, everyone knows this. So, it's anyone's guess if they're going to go in this direction or not. Okay. And I know this is going to be a great tag team. NXT building up the tag team division again. I think that's great. Ryder and Mojo, the Hype Bros, and now we're going to get the Shoot Nation finally teaming together. Jason Jordan, Chad Gable. I think Jordan's finally going to give in after one more vignette, and we're going to get them finally teaming together. And I think that's the right direction to go. We get Baron Corbin in action against Angelo Dawkins, another member of the former Shoot Nation that didn't really go very well. And they started counting along, and when they realized the match was going to go long, they got into the New Day Sucks chant with a core, Ben Sucks, which works really well. Dawkins actually got some offense here. He had a couple snap jabs, and he goes for a bulldog, gets shrugged off, big-time clothesline, and at the end of days finishes it. Baron Corbin's a lot better as a heel. I've said this time in and time out. I think I said this from day one. I don't like this as a babyface. This is not a babyface gimmick at all. I mean, the only thing you could really compare him to is the Punisher. He's Lobo. I mean, that's the only way I could really compare him to anything else. Excuse me, but the thing about it is I think there is a reason why this gimmick is what it is. I know this is like a Vince McMahon wet dream gimmick because you always like the big man, everything, like no personality. But I think that Baron Corbin's going to be an awesome monster. I like the feud with Rhino. I think they could do more with it, honestly. He squashed Bull Dempsey like a grape, so there's really nothing to do there. But I think if you build him up heavy, he can actually go after Joe, and he can go after Finn, and he had some matches with Tyler Breeze over the weekend that apparently were decent. So I'd be curious to see where we go from here. Main event time. It is the in-ring debut of Samoa Joe. God, that music sucks. WWE, get on that now. Change his music. My God, you change Cesaro's music like every 5 minutes. You change Wade Barrett's music like every 1 minute. Like, come on. Can we get some new music for Samoa Joe? It's absolutely horrible. I feel like I'm coming down to the Showcase Showdown when I hear Samoa Joe's music. I mean, I know Blue Pants literally comes out to the Price is Right theme as sung by Colin Cassidy, but seriously, this music is freaking ridiculous. It's like, I don't even know what I want to do when I hear this music. I hear the cha-ching and everything. It's just so stupid. Scott Dawson is his victim here, playing the Trevor Murdoch role, because that's basically what he is now, because he's doing the Captain Redneck thing, so I bet you could say he's kind of trying to be Dick Murdoch, but, I mean, I play him off more like Trevor Murdoch, but that's not a bad thing at all. I still like Trevor Murdoch. We have Kevin Owens on commentary because it's entertaining, and I think it works really well. Let's talk about the match, shall we? Dawson goes for a suplex, he gets blocked, Joe catches him with a back elbow, and the snap jabs, the 1,000-hand punches in the corner, and a Mongolian chop finishes of all things. Don't recall seeing that. Joe hits the back avalanche into the background kick, of course, because it's a Samoa Joe match. It has to happen. Dawson charges, eats the ST Joe, and he puts him on the buckle. The Muscle Buster connects. Looks awesome, by the way, and the 3 count is completed. Owens leaves the announce table finally after jawing with Tom Phillips and, Corey Graves for a while. My apologies for that. So he goes to leave. Joe grabs him like, Kevin Owens! Where do you think you're going? You know what? When I stepped in this ring, you said you'd drop me. Well, when I stepped in the ring, you kind of just ran away. And we get the crowd chanting, Run Owens, run. Easy way to get the crowd to buy into Kevin Owens as a heel is put him against Samoa Joe. And that's a smart move WWE pulled off. Kevin, why don't you be a good man like you say you are and give the world the fight that they want to see? And Kevin goes, you know what? I'm going to say this right now. Kevin Owens doesn't run anywhere. Which some people were snickering in the crowd. I am a good man. You know what? Dropping you after your first NXT match, would have been kind of unpleasant for you. You should have thanked me. Truth be told, you're a rookie here in NXT, and everybody's like, oh, like it's a schoolyard fight or something. As a veteran, you can't walk around here and get the title match after your first match, pot, kettle, understand the fact that Kevin Owens did just that when he squashed CJ Parker, and then basically the next takeover, he beat Sami Zayn for the NXT Championship. I like that. I think it works really well for the heel mentality of Kevin Owens' character. You haven't earned your opportunity. Here comes William Regal. Out to make the announcement he was going to make earlier, but he got interrupted by Doritos Man. Joe has not earned a title shot. No, but he has earned the right to fight. So next week, as in tonight, we get the match we've been waiting forever for. Samoa Joe versus Kevin Owens. This match is going to be awesome, and the fans, justifiably so, chant "Thank you, Regal," and that's how we end the show. Owens kind of smirks at Regal and walks out with the NXT Championship. I enjoyed this show a lot. A lot of wrestling. People, always give WWE crap because there's way too many promos, not enough wrestling. In the case of Monday night, there was way too many commercials, not enough anything. But the fact remains, this show was full of nothing but wrestling. I actually really liked it. The debut of the Hype Bros. I'm not a fan of Mojo Rawley. I never have been. I've made that perfectly clear. But I think this tag team actually will work. I think it's a fun little babyface tag team that actually will do a lot of fan service, literally. And I think that it's going to be a fun little tag team to work with Blake and Murphy. Returning Blue Pants against Emma. Like I said, I love evil, sexy Emma. I think it works really well. It makes her character, like I said, more of a vamp, more like the Jessica Rabbit style. Not necessarily with the red hair or anything like that, and she's not like a seductress that sings in a nightclub called the Ink and Paint Club. No, she's just kind of like a bad girl. I like it. I think it works really well for the Emma character. I mean, cutesy Emma was fine, but the bad girl Emma I think is a lot better. Blue Pants is always nice to see. I really hope that they end up signing her eventually to a full-time contract and doing something with her, because the Full Sail crowd love her, and they love to see her do stuff in the ring. I'm curious to see what happens with Blake and Murphy teaming up with my girl Alexa Bliss and taking on Carmella, Enzo, and Cass this week, so that should be fun. I like the new character from Bull Dempsey. It's interesting. I mean, he's running around the ring, he runs out of steam, and he gets beat that way. I mean, it's great because he basically had the match until he got gassed, so it's awesome. And it's true to life because sometimes you could possibly look like you're about to win a match, and then the next thing you know, bam, you're just blown up, take it home. Roll me up, it's over. And it's always great to see Tyler Breeze. Becky Lynch and Jessie McKay, give me another one of these matches now. Give me 10 minutes. Put this on like a takeover. I'm totally down, without a doubt. Kevin Owens and Scott Dawson. Dawson was the right opponent. I think it worked really well. It was like an elongated squash. I thought it was great because it gave some hope spots to Dawson. I thought it worked really well. He got some heat on Joe before Joe put him away with the SC Joe and the Muscle Buster combo. So, yeah. NXT was good this week. If you didn't watch it, check it out. WWE Network, or find another means to watch it somehow. Alright, let's talk TNA. Destination X was this past week live from my home away from home, Soundstage 20 at Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida. And this is Destination X. Obviously, this is the big event where the X Division champion has the right to utilize Option C, which is basically give up his championship, a guaranteed championship that he currently has, for the wild card of getting a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Rockstar Spud has said at the end of the last week's show that he was going to definitely cash in his opportunity to face off with the World Heavyweight Champion Kurt Angle. And that's where we start this show. But that's not where we start off the show. Ethan Carter III and Tyrus come out and they basically, engage in a set-in. Did I talk about this on Monday night? It's funny because Impact technically did it first because that was last Wednesday that we're talking about. Interesting. Kurt Angle comes out. He basically is like, you know what, Ethan, if you don't get out of the ring right now, I'm going to snap your ankle. And Carter, kind of backs away a little bit after a little bit of a confrontation. Tyrus looks like he's going to do something, but he leaves as well. And enter the challenger. So we get big fight, in-ring introductions from Jeremy Borash like we do every single time we get a major title match. And Brian Hebner's your referee. And apparently he's not the senior official, but he's literally the senior official son. So, I mean, I guess makes him number 2. We'll go with that. He's been getting a lot more of the title matches lately in Impact, so it works well. Start off the show right away. Option C cashed in. X Division Championship now vacant. Rockstar Spud taking on TNA World Heavyweight Champion Kurt Angle. So the match was really good. A lot of David versus Goliath style action. And that's what it should have been, obviously. Rockstar Spud, not even 200 pounds. I mean, it doesn't really make much sense for Rockstar Spud to face off against a behemoth like Kurt Angle, someone with the pedigree of Kurt Angle, but they made it work. In storyline perspective, they actually made this work quite well. So Spud, it's a satellite head scissors takeover, sends Angle to the floor, and he dives off the ring apron. Angle catches him, overhead release, belly-to-belly suplex on the floor. So I get to my notes here. Angle hits a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker and a snap suplex for a near fall, locks on a chin lock, and Spud punches his way out, hits a jawbreaker, stuns Angle momentarily to charge him, but he eats another tilt-a-whirl. Angle slam is countered into an arm drag by Rockstar Spud. He hits an enziguri kick, and the snap jabs, and the wind-up, going for the flip-flop and fly. Obviously, nice shout-out to Dusty, which, of course, this was done way before anything happened to the Dream, and before he passed away last week. This was filmed a long time ago. And the wind-up punch actually drops Kurt Angle, so it works really well. Angle charges, and Rockstar Spud Rob Patrick's him, which basically means he sidestepped him. He goes to the ropes to the floor. Drop kick off the ring apron from Spud. Spud heads up top, and he somersaults, lands on the side of Kurt Angle's neck, which obviously all of Angle's neck problems he's had throughout his career and his neck surgeries, yeah, it makes perfect sense he'd hit him in the neck. Other than the fact that I think he undershot it. Or overshot it in this case. Don't forget it's early, so you gotta understand that. Sorry, I'm not really paying much attention. So, Spud heads up top. Angle goes for the run-up overhead release belly to belly, and he gets it 1-2 and a kick out. So Angle slam is countered. Drop kick to the knee. Angle goes down to one knee. 3 forearms off the ropes. Spud still hasn't dropped him. Shining Wizard countered into the ankle lock, and Spud flips him forward into the middle turnbuckle. He goes for the underdog, he counters, float over, Angle slam, and Angle ends up getting countered again. Angle charges in, goes shoulder first into the ring post. Underdog does connect, 1, 2, Angle kicks out right at 3. Seriously, the hand was coming down, and if you had a bad referee in there wasn't Brian Hebner or any other legitimate official, I think if you had a crappy ref, that match would have been over right there. They would have had to scramble to figure out a way to get the title off Spud that night. But I'll get to that. Spud starts pounding his chest, and of course this allows him to get locked in the ankle lock. Angle puts the stamp on it with the leg grapevine, and Rockstar Spud is forced to tap out. Really, really good opening match. I really enjoyed the David versus Goliath, the camaraderie between the two, and Rockstar Spud is something that is really surprising to say, but Rockstar Spud is actually a really good talent. I mean, he's got it on the mic, he's got it in the ring. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with, and I don't think this is the last time we see him in the world title picture, and I think it works really well. Angle helps up Rockstar Spud, and you hear Josh Matthews on commentary really putting over the importance of the match, saying that James Curtin almost became World Heavyweight Champion. That's the first time Spud's real name has been referenced on television. Good for Rockstar Spud, because it was great because during the match, Matthews, for some reason, lately has been playing the heel on commentary. It's been weird, it really is, because obviously it just doesn't work, but I guess, making the Pope the babyface commentator, I'm not sure about that. I flip those around. But I think it really worked really well, and it put over the fact that Spud really could have been world champion. So, of course, this segment ends with Austin Aries standing on the ramp with the briefcase, basically hanging over Kurt Angle like an albatross, at the end of the night, I'm cashing in, so. Taron officially makes the match against Awesome Kong a lingerie pillow fight. And it's not even for the championship like it was supposed to be. Oh no, the only way that Kong can get a shot at the Knockouts Championship is if she plays this game with Taryn Terrell. Taryn looking gorgeous as always, with Marty and Jade, and that's pretty much the segment there. 3 matches determine the 3 men that will go into a 3-way dance to determine the brand new X Division champion. Of course, I've seen the pictures, X Division championship, now green. Interesting. I think it more sense would be made if it was yellow, if you know what I mean. So, Low Key Manic and Crazy Steve is your first X Division qualifier. Short, straight, and to the point. Manic with a double chicken wing on Rockstar Spot. I was reading the notes from earlier. On Crazy Steve. Low-key shotgun drop kick, and of course that breaks that up. Key heads up top, hits the Warriors way on Manic, 1, 2, 3, and match over. This match was good for what it was. Short, straight, to the point, and that's what it had to be. Low-key moves on, and waits to find out who his other two combatants will be. Presumably it's Slammiversary. It hasn't been officially announced, but I think it's probably going to be. Grado's doing squats in the back, and he's like been training. He's been jogging, dog walking, and apparently he's working on his parkour skills. And he can't wait to make it into the X Division. He's trying to lose weight. He's wearing like a garbage trash bag, and he tries to like Full Metal Jacket over a production box, and he can't quite make it. So we get an update on Mickie James's condition after what happened last week. Apparently she did not suffer a concussion, but she was severely shaken up, and Magnus will be making his return to in-ring action this week on Impact. Impact this coming week. So by this coming week, it's funny because this is the Wednesday night video, even though it's a week earlier, or a week later, depending on how you're looking at it. Tonight on Impact, 9 p.m., you're going to see this culminate, obviously. And we're leading to James Storm and Magnus at Slammiversary. It's already been announced, and it's going to be entertaining, without a doubt. I'm looking forward to see where we go with this. I think Magnus and Storm are carrying on a great feud right now. Even though the storyline is a little too close to home when it comes down to it. Yeah, I'm curious to see where we go from here. Match number 2, DJZ against Tigre Uno and Mark Andrews. This match was good too. I enjoyed this a lot. Match pretty much ends with Zima going for the outside in, swinging DDT. He heads up top. Uno shoves him all the way to basically the bottom of the ramp. And Uno heads up top, hits the Phoenix Splash, and gets the 3 count on Andrews. So Uno moves on, and he will join Low Key and a combatant to be announced later on in the 3-way for the vacant X Division Championship. Match over, of course, Jesse Goddard comes out, and he just obliterates DJZ, stomps away, and like elbow face washes, and a one-armed buckle bomb, which was great. And he gorilla presses him, like pressing and walking around the ring and tossing him to the floor. So yes, Jesse has both destroyed his former bromance partners. He beat Robbie E up a couple weeks ago, and now he's beat up DJZ. I have a feeling there's going to be hell to pay for Jesse somewhere down the line. I like this. I think it worked really well, and it's actually starting a mid-card feud a good way. Usually an attack works really well to prolong a feud. Or start one off, depending on how you're looking at it. So Grado's got a trash bag on, and he's doing he's trying to make weight, I guess, because he thinks that the X Division Championship has a weight limit, because it's not about, excuse me. It's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. I did not write that on a note or anything, I just had to remember it in my head. So yeah, there's no limits, and JB tells him later on, but we'll talk to that later. He congratulates Tigre Uno, and he basically starts speaking very slowly and very methodically, trying to get him to understand what he's saying, and Tigre doesn't really get it, and then all of a sudden Tigre turns into Taka Michinoku of these days and says, "What a jackass." So yeah, I thought that worked really well. Fun. Grado's amazing. Grado, it's a shame Grado's not signing a major contract right now. I think after this he might be. I think he might have to sign him. Taryn Terrell against Awesome Kong in the lingerie pillow fight. The sexy, seductive entrance from the dollhouse turns the... Is it hot in here? Yeah, it kind of is. And they even put that over. There's a big pink bed in the ring, and Kong comes out. She's not wearing lingerie like she's supposed to, and Taryn is really upset. He's like, "You're not playing the game with me. You're ruining playtime." So Marty tries to reason with Kong, and she tries to speak Spanish for some reason. She calls her a nice little monster. I think that's hilarious, by the way. And Kong ends up pulling Jade and Marty to the floor and takes care of the dollhouse. And eventually, Taryn's like, "No lingerie equals no title match." And here comes one half of the Lone Star Sweethearts, which TNA haven't named them that yet, but my God, they need to, especially with the music they're using now. And that's Brooke. Brooke comes out and she says, "This match has disgraced the entire women's division." Brooke gets in the ring, and Christy won't announce Taryn as the winner, even though Taryn basically is like yelling at Christy having to do so. "You promised to defend the championship and also to give the fans lingerie. You're breaking both of those. But you know what? I have no problem fighting you anytime, any place." And Taryn's like, "You know what? I suggest you leave before you're humiliated like Kong was." And Brooke's like, I got something to say. I got something to say. And bam, forearm. So she, like, starts beating her up on the bed. They start fighting on the bed. And she tears off Taryn's robe, revealing her, like, lacy pink bra and her black boy shorts. Hot. But, I mean, this works really well because this is building to Taryn and Brooke. I think that's actually going to work. It's funny because this is a battle of former WWE gimmicks that failed. Taryn, of course, was Tiffany. She was, like, general manager of SmackDown for a while. She, like, worked on ECW. And Brooke was a member of, she worked with Extreme Expose, also on ECW. So they could have crossed paths on ECW, but they didn't. The stuff with Kelly and Layla. So this might be entertaining. Brooke basically says after Taryn gets stripped and she grabs a blue pillow to try to exit the ring, like, she becomes modest now for some reason. Okay. Taryn says, the next thing I'm going to take from you is not just the robe, it's your title. So yeah, we got Taryn and Brooke is now the next program. We'll see what goes with this. I think it should be fun, honestly. So, the Dirty Heels are talking in the back. Bobby Roode says, I got your back, Austin. We're ready tonight. Grado's still trying to drop weight, and JB, like I said, reminds him there's no weight limits in the exhibition. And he's like, wait a minute, there's no weight limits? I didn't have to do all this? No, you have to do this at all. He's like, oh, okay, fine, I'll go out to compete. So we got our next match, our final of the 3 qualifiers. It is the King of the Night, Kenny King, representing the Beatdown Clan. Cruz, who is wearing the mask, kind of looked like a mini Eric Rowan with the Lucha mask. Until he, like, took off the top. It looked strange. And Grado is the final combatant. Of course, he comes out to the Like a Prayer ripoff, which may or may not have been actually Like a Prayer live if you were at the Impact Zone. I have to get Aaron to answer me that question when he goes to Slammiversary next week. This match was good, too. So, at one point, Kenny King charges in and gets backdropped to the floor. Grado drops the straps, hits the roll and slice, the cannonball, and he gets the 3 count. So Grado moves on, and Grado will join Tigre Uno and Low Ki in the final 3-way to determine the brand new X Division champion. I really think if they don't put the title on Grado, it's going to be a bad mistake at this point. Grado really needs to be on television. I think it would work really well. I think it needs to happen. Bram challenges pretty much anyone from TNA's past. I think he's going to do this gimmick for a while. And if you look at results, he does do this gimmick for a while. He beats up a defenseless cameraman, and he says he hates Destination X and he hates officers of the law. I don't know why he didn't beat up a cop, but I guess he's just going to beat up a cameraman instead of beating up a cop. I don't know. I don't understand the correlation between a cameraman and a cop, but, well. They both have cameras. One has a radar camera, and the other one has, like, a handheld camera, so yeah, there's that. Bram says, the past, the present, and the whole bloody future will be rewritten by me. It's accepted by Crimson, of all people. It's interesting. Crimson takes charge, not even a word. Crimson takes charge, and Bram basically ends up sending him into the guardrail later on in the match. Toss him in, the brighter side of suffering is countered into a pump handle exploder suplex. He locks on the Nagata Lock 2, or the Rings of Saturn, depends on who's calling your match, and somehow Crimson he makes it to the ropes. Does Bram. Crimson goes for it again, and Bram bites the hand that's trying to suplex him, in this case, and putting him into submission. The brighter side of suffering connects, and Bram wins. This works. I think this works. I think it's a good challenge. I think it's going to work really well in the long run. So, Bram is going to be challenging former superstars of TNA. I'm curious to see who's going to accept his challenge. This may be a good way to bring some people back to the company. Don't know if we're going to see Crimson on a regular basis. May have been a one-night-only deal. I guess that remains to be seen. Kurt Angle's walking around the sound stages. I know this area very well. It's a place where we hang out for Halloween Horror Nights whenever we are waiting in line. And he says he knows what Austin Aries is capable of, but no one is going to be able to take the championship from him. Ethan Carter III is in the back, and he's still angry, of course, that he's not given his just due as #1 contender, but he's got to let Angle know. I mean, you got past Spud. If you get past Austin Aries, he's got a bullseye in the back of his head. He says, you dared me to throw the first punch, but when I do, this time, you're not getting up. So, building to that Kurt Angle, Ethan Carter III match that I've been talking about for months. Yeah, it might be in a year, actually. I think it is. Main event time, TNA World Heavyweight Championship on the line. After one successful title defense against Rockstar Spud, Kurt Angle now defends against the proprietor of Option C and the Feast or Fired briefcase holder, Austin Aries. So yeah, we'll pick this up midway through. This match was really, really good. They gave it almost 20 minutes, went back and forth. We'll pick it up from the main points of the match here. Angle hits the rolling German, and he goes for the angle slam, gets countered into the exclamation point DDT for the 2 count, and the last chancery is locked on. He finally breaks it. Angle with a double leg, goes for the ankle lock, flip forward from Aries, and he sends him into the buckle. Neck snap, heads up top, missile drop kick. IED is countered in the ankle lock, and Aries gets the break. German is blocked numerous times. Aries with a couple back elbows finally breaks it. Discus elbow is countered into the angle slam. Angle heads up top for the moonsault, but he misses, and the last chancery is applied, but somehow, someway, Kurt Angle is able to make the bottom rope just in the nick of time. So he heads up top. Angle heads up, going for the overhead release belly-to-belly suplex, and basically Aries rings his bell and knocks him off. Heads up top, does Angle because he has the resilience here, of course, and Aries shoves off, hits the 450, 1-2, and right at 3 again, he kicks out. If it wasn't Brian Hebner once more, we had a brand new champion for the second time tonight. So they trade punches, and they start trading forearms, and they start trading chops, so they'll run the gamut here. And basically at this point, Angle stops us with a straight boot to the midsection. Angle slam, counter with a rolling elbow. The rolling elbow again, the IED, the brainbuster combo, 1-2, again Kurt Angle kicks out. Aries locks in his version of the ankle lock, and Angle is like about to tap, but he counters because obviously you don't nail the master with the master's hold, and he counters into his own ankle lock. Aries ends up sending him to the floor. He goes for the heat-seeking missile, and Angle Rob Petrie's him, and he basically eats the guardrail, like literally. Bam! That's what the kind of impact we had, pun not intended, when Aries smacks his head against the guardrail, basically knocks himself silly. He rolls him in, Angle drops the straps, and it's a foregone conclusion at this point. Angle slam, counter into a sunset flip, into a stack-up pin, 1-2, and a kick-out, and before Aries can do anything else, he gets maneuvered into the ankle lock, and the leg grapevine. Aries finally forced the tap out, and 2 successful title defenses for Kurt Angle to end Destination X, and right at the end of the show, Ethan Carter III jumps him from behind and raises the TNA World Heavyweight Championship in the air, as we have a lot of questions to end Destination X. Show was good as well, for a different reason, obviously, than Impact. We're building toward Slammiversary at the end of this month. We've got one more show. Obviously, this is going to be the go-home show tonight on Destination America, and then we have Slammiversary next week. So, yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to. Should be a fun show. What I recommend on the show, honestly, I like Kurt Angle and Rockstar Spud. It was a really good David versus Goliath match. I like that sometimes. I really do. The 3 qualifiers that were short, but they fit. They made sense. And Loki was the right person to go over. Grado was the right person to go over. I'm not exactly sure about Tigre Uno. Maybe they're putting more in Uno than we thought they would. Which is okay, because when they signed him in AAA as Extreme Tiger, I didn't know what they would do with him. Maybe this could have went to Mark Andrews, since he won British Boot Camp. Maybe he'd face off against Grado, also won British Boot Camp. But no, they're going a different path. Tigre Uno, in essence, probably the right person to win this. Taryn's going to be working with Brooke. I think that's going to be fun. Should be a good wrestling match, actually. I'm looking forward to that. And the main event, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Kurt Angle, Austin Aries, always deliver every single time. This was Destination X from Impact last week. So that's your video, and I'm going to go head off to work. Yeah, literally, I have to work, and I'm leaving for work in legitimately an hour from now. So, but I have dedication to get these videos out to you guys, so that's the reason why I was up at 8 a.m. this morning to do so. So, that is your Impact recap for this week. Tomorrow, joys for a brand new Sip and Snack. We're going to be focusing on energy drinks. I'll shoot with you guys. I'll probably film that tonight because we're going to get back late Thursday from Inside Out. So, I'm going to not want to drink a buttload of energy drinks before I go to sleep. Probably not a good idea. But I'll do that video, and that will come out tomorrow. AJ's movie reviews will be tackled on Friday. We're going to be covering Inside Out and Dope, as well as Kumiko the Treasure Hunter, and possibly one more. Saturday, Gaming with Ash makes its triumphant return, and Sunday, we've got a brand new Versus. This is going to be epic in the most epic of epic ways. Vigilante is your cryptic comment. Monday is also coming up as well. That leads to your regular WWE Raw Popcast with Aaron and Ashley. And that will be up for archive on Tuesday. Wednesday, of course, brand new NXT and Impact video talking about this past week's Impact, with which is going to be airing tonight. And also, furthermore, talking about Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens 1. That also is going to be airing tonight on the WWE Network. Brand new Sip and Snack after that on Thursday. AJ's movie reviews will be tackling a couple of things, actually. He's going to be tackling Ted 2 and, I believe, another movie, Max. That's going to be coming up. So we've got that. We're going to go see Jaws on Saturday. That's going to be fun. A Fathom event of Jaws. If you're able to watch that, go watch it. Seriously, watch the classic brought to the big screen for 2 nights only. It's going to be this Sunday and this Wednesday at 2 and 7 p.m. in most markets, but for me it's just 2 o'clock on a Sunday, so we're going to be checking that out. I will be doing a podcast with the Horror Nights Updaters very soon. Once I get that information, I'll shoot that out to you guys on my Twitter, and I'll be doing another Horror Nights video very soon, as we get some more information. I got a feeling the wheels are spinning in John Murphy's head. They're going to get a Hollywood announcement very soon. So, that being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. If you like these videos, tell your friends about them, leave a comment, do subscribe, help spread the word about Pop. If you haven't yet, go to Facebook, go ahead, click like on our Facebook fan page. Just takes a second, Sir Owen Disney Pop, or search for Sir Owen Disney and Pop. While you're there, friend request me on Facebook, and also you can tweet me at Sir Owen Disney. And last but certainly not least, you want to send your thoughts, comments, queries, and opinions, you want to talk wrestling with me, Disney, Universal, Halloween, Horror Nights, you want to ask me trip questions about myself I can't answer on here for good reason, or if you are a theme park or wrestling podcast and we'd like Sir Owen Disney to be a part of it, you're more than welcome to send me an email. You can become a popcaster that way too. It is sirowendisney@gmail.com. So in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I gotta say about that.